We're gonna start off warming up our neck, so look down, look up, side to side, and roll your head forward one way, and roll it back the other way. And just do this a few times, as many as feels good. When you're finished warming up your neck, we're gonna roll out our shoulders. So roll them up and back and down and around. And then roll them forward. Once again, as many times as feels good. Place your fingertips on your shoulders and make big circles with your elbows. Start going backward a few times and then forward a few times. And we're gonna be on our wrists a lot for this workout, so make sure you roll out your wrists. Okay, to start off, come into a plank position and rock back and forth a little bit just to fire up your abs and your shoulders. And then we'll take some scat push-ups, so press through your shoulders into the mat. Do this about 5 to 7 times, just get those shoulders warmed up. When you're done, we're gonna press into downward dog and then back into plank and come back and forth a few times, 5 to 7. Really open your chest up towards the mat and lift your hips up. Make sure your lower back is straight, so tilt your pelvis towards your thighs. Next, we're gonna take some yogi push-ups. We're gonna do 3 sets of 5 to 7. So come back into that downward dog. You're really opening your chest towards the mat, hips lifted up towards the ceiling, and you're going to lower your elbows to the mat and press back up. Make sure you are keeping your elbows in so your forearms are parallel and you're pressing through your hands. First exercise, we're going to start in plank. Again, make sure your shoulders are aligned over your wrists. And we're going to take a push-up and then press into side plank. And then come back to center. Take another push-up and press into side plank on the other side. These are called T push-ups, and we're going to take 5 to 7 of them. And we'll do about 3 sets. Once again, we're going to start in a plank position. Lift your right arm and your left leg. Slowly bring your left leg through and reach your right arm towards the ceiling. And then return to center without touching your hand or your foot back down to the ground. This position that we're coming into in yoga is called shooting star. We're going to do this 3 times on one side and then 3 times on the other side. And do 3 sets of these. For this one, we're going to start in a plank again. Lift your right arm and your opposite leg and draw a semicircle with your elbow to your hip and with your knee to your opposite elbow. And then crunch them back out to the position you started in, and do that about 3 times on one side and then switch it to the other side. Do this as slowly and as controlled as possible. If you're having trouble balancing, focus on pressing through your hand and your foot. And if balancing is still too hard, you can work on one limb at a time. So do your right arm first, and then your right leg, and then your left arm, and then your left leg. So you can do those all in isolation until you're comfortable doing 2 at a time. Do 3 sets of these. For this one, you're going to start in a seated position with your hands firmly placed on the ground. Lift your butt up off of the ground and then shoot your legs out backward, and you're going to come into a plank. And then hop in, bringing your legs between your arms back into a seated position. Go back and forth 3 to 5 times and do this for 3 sets. Now we're going to take reverse plank, so make sure your hands are underneath your shoulders. Lift your hips up towards the ceiling and press your toes into the floor. Keep those hips really high, and let's take 5 to 8 breaths here. And we'll do this for 3 sets. These are called eagle arms, so you're going to wrap one arm underneath the other and press your hands together into what in yoga is called prayer pose. Once your arms are wrapped around each other, you're going to squeeze them together and compress them down. You'll feel a stretch in your mid-back. Hold that for 3 to 5 breaths and then get the other side. Next, we're going to stretch out the fronts of our shoulders. So you're going to put your arm out to the side with a 90-degree bend in your elbow. Press your shoulder into the ground and press your other hand into the ground so you get a nice stretch in the front of the shoulder there. You can step your foot behind you to get a little bit deeper, and then get the other side.